Hello and welcome to another video. As you can see from the name on the tin, I'm trying something a little bit different. I don't really ever draw anything other than people, if I'm being honest. I don't really practice props. I don't draw furniture. I don't draw landscapes. And I definitely 100% do not draw animals. I've drawn an animal maybe 2 or 3 times in the past. But other than that, I do not draw animals. So I figured what I really wanted to study this week was I was going to do like a planning out of my character's house. Like they live in this sort of kind of wing of the house basically, and I was going to plan that out, but I was like, that's too hard. And so I was like, I should practice something that I don't ever draw and something that's probably going to be relevant going forward if I wanted to start drawing a comic. And so I decided that I was going to start drawing dogs. Dogs are cute. I like dogs, and I feel like if I was going to draw a comic, I would probably have to draw dogs. I feel like a mafia family would probably have dogs, like guard dogs and stuff, so I felt like it was probably a little bit relevant for me. But here's the thing, you guys, I never draw dogs, and so these dogs are really bad, like super ugly. I feel really bad. That's why the video is so short, just because I could have made it longer, but I was like, I'm so humiliated by how ugly these dogs are. I want this video to be over as quickly as possible. So sorry, it's a short video, but looking at these dogs for longer than I have to is actually gonna make me cry. So yeah, I decided to draw some dogs. I just grabbed some random dog references off of Google, and you probably cannot tell what these references are because I drew them so terribly, but that's a good way to get around copyright, right? Yeah, I drew dogs. They look like shit. I did not pick any specific dog at all to draw. I was just like, I'm gonna do my best. For this one, I tried to draw Yorkie just because my personal dog that I own, he is Yorkie. He's a menace, but I love him with all my heart. So I was like, I'll try to draw Yorkie. This is not a picture of him that I'm drawing from, just because he does need a haircut. So I felt like if I drew him, I'd just be drawing dog hair all over the place. But yeah, I tried to draw Yorkie, and I was like, this one is awful. At the time I was doing that, this is probably the best one, but the next one I draw after that is probably the best one, but I was like, this sucks so bad, it's so ugly. I think the problem is I don't know how to draw dogs, so I don't know the shapes that go along with them, but also it's the eyes. They look so lifeless and doll-like when I'm doing them, just because dog eyes are very large, right? And like you can only see the white of their eyes if they like look to the side, and so it's just basically most dogs do not have colored eyes, but if you're drawing just a regular dog without colored eyes, it's basically just like a black void. And so I'm like, I don't know how to draw a dog so that way their eyes don't look like a giant black void. And so all the dogs I drew look like very lifeless and creepy, which is unfortunate. This next drawing is a drawing of a pug, and I feel like this is probably the best drawing that I did, and it's just of the dog face. I feel like the pug's face is a little bit easier to get just because it's a pretty simple shape. Like it's not exactly a circle, it's sort of kind of like more of a hexagon type shape, and then I just built off top of that, and the ears were not too complicated, and I didn't have to draw the body. I think the body is like the hardest part. After I did the pug, I was like, I'm just going to focus on headshots because I could not draw the dog body for the life of me. I don't know how to build that up with shapes at all. So I feel like after I switched over to more portrait style, I guess, for dogs, I feel like they went a little bit easier. But I feel like the what's it called? The poses were a little bit boring. So after I did the pug, I drew a chihuahua, and the chihuahua is terrifying, you guys. It looks terrible because it's like open mouthed, and like his teeth are like exposed, or her teeth. I don't know what kind of dog it is, but I was like, this is horrifying. And you know what? I was like, after I did that one, I was like, maybe I should just try to focus on drawings of dogs that just look ridiculous. So that way when I do the sketching of the dogs, it's okay if they look ridiculous because the photo references was fucking ridiculous and like awful. So that's what I did after I did the chihuahua. I was saying, I think that the pug is probably the best, and then the chihuahua is probably the second best drawing, just because I feel like also I had gotten loose at this point. The other dogs, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And then after that, I was like, okay, I think I could build shapes on this a little bit easier. I started with the circle for the chihuahua, and then I sort of carved the head out of that circle, and I felt like that was a little bit easier. I was trying to go ahead and use the same principles that I was using for building form, so I was trying to put shapes over shapes when I did the chihuahua, and so I think that helped a little bit. I think it looks like a dog. I don't know if it looks like a chihuahua, but I feel like it looks like a dog. The first three, I was like, those don't fucking look like dogs at all. But I feel like these next three look like dogs. And then this is the dog that's on the thumbnail. I thought about drawing another dog that looked shitty for the thumbnail, and I was just like, I already drew a dog that looks shitty, so I just put this guy on the front of the video. He is, or she is, making this dumbass expression, and so I was like, that's perfect, because if I draw it shitty, it just looks like it was just a terrible photo of the dog. But I mean, even in comparison to the photo photo of the dog. This is a terrible drawing of a dog. Anyway, if you guys want me to draw any other animals, or if you have advice for drawing animals, you guys, because I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. This is ridiculous. I really don't know what I'm doing. I feel like animals are very different from humans just because their faces are a little bit more pronounced. So drawing that snout, I feel like is going to be the hardest part. But hopefully the stacking shapes on top of other shapes is going to help me out when it comes to that. Anyway, that's the end of the video, you guys. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'll go ahead and see you in the next one. Bye!